New York City is facing challenges from climate change, and it's not a secret. The city, being a small island with lots of buildings and millions of people, is vulnerable. When there's heavy rain, water fills up subway stations and streets, showing that the city's infrastructure isn't ready for these problems. Unfortunately, things are expected to get even worse. The combination of being packed with structures and its geographical location makes it harder for New York City to handle the impacts of climate change. As the climate continues to change, the city needs to find ways to better prepare for these challenges and protect its residents. This small part of Manhattan is in danger, and officials are urgently working on plans for what's ahead. Their newest plan involves spending millions to create a seawall, flood barriers, and raising an entire park in Lower Manhattan. However, in order to protect the neighborhoods, some existing structures will need to be taken down. The focus is on finding ways to safeguard this vulnerable area from potential future threats. The project aims to create a resilient defense against flooding, ensuring the safety and security of the community. When you stroll along the western side of Manhattan, you'll eventually find yourself in Battery Park City, a beautiful 92-acre neighborhood at the southern tip of the islands. Back in the 1960s, this area was transformed from old docklands into a vibrant community through land reclamation. The construction of the World Trade Center at the time provided the excavation material to extend the shoreline into the Hudson River. Nowadays, Battery Park City is recognized as a successful urban renewal project, boasting plenty of green spaces, residential buildings, and restaurants. Despite its current popularity, the future of the neighborhood is uncertain. While it has thrived as a result of careful planning and development, challenges may arise that could impact its ongoing success. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy struck New York, causing a lot of flooding. The whole city was affected, especially Lower Manhattan, which got really dark and had some areas underwater. Many houses and important buildings were wrecked, and millions of people didn't have electricity for days. The whole mess cost about $19 billion. Lower Manhattan, especially Battery Park City, had some of the worst damage. But the problem doesn't stop there. Climate change is making storms and floods worse, so we might see more disasters like Sandy in the future. After Sandy, New York City had to deal with a lot of problems, and it's a reminder that we need to be ready for more challenges from Mother Nature. The city is not ready for what's coming. The National Ocean Service says sea levels will go up about a foot or a quarter of a meter by 2050. In the Battery Park area, during storms, water could rise to around 5 to 7 meters. Even though we might not see it every day, it's crucial to protect our cities from the impacts of climate change. Engineers worldwide are thinking of ways to do that. They suggest building seawalls, planting more trees, and even creating floating cities. To face the challenges ahead, we need to adapt our infrastructure. It's not just about dealing with rising sea levels. It's about making sure our cities can handle the changes that are on the way. Taking action now will help us create safer and more resilient communities for the future. In Battery Park City, there's a big plan to spend at least $220 million to keep important areas safe at the southern tip of Manhattan. One of these areas is Wagner Park, which is a lovely 3.5-acre green space by the water. They want to make sure it's protected, so they're going to tear it down and lift it higher, from just 3 meters above the sea to 6 meters. This plan focuses on the construction of a large wall designed to prevent floods in the area.
Side of the story agrees that there is a climate crisis, only disagrees with the solution to demolish this 3.5.
The wall is a key element and is strategically placed, with some parts hidden beneath the park and others exposed or covered in glass. It's important to note that this isn't your typical solid barrier. The concealed portion allows people to access more green spaces. The visible section of the wall features special gates that can be flipped up and laid flat when not in use. Moreover, the plan involves extending the wall north towards Tribeca. But it doesn't stop there. Additional barriers are being erected along the water to ensure comprehensive flood protection for the entire area. The ultimate goal is to maintain the beauty and safety of Battery Park City, providing a secure and enjoyable environment for everyone. The project aims to improve the drainage system by adding isolation valves and tight gates. In Pierre Plaza, the lowest area in the region, a 2-level landscaped space with tiered seating will be created to act as a barrier against incoming water. The wooden seating is designed to stay submerged for longer durations. Additionally, workers will plant trees and construct concrete structures that can withstand salt water.
Firearm that came onto the screens. NYPD got involved with that.
These measures are crucial for protecting neighborhoods and surrounding areas from the impacts of rising sea levels, storm surges, and flooding. The project is specifically designed to address the challenges posed by rare 100-year storm events. By implementing these enhancements, the city aims to safeguard lives, save money, and protect valuable properties from the potential devastation caused by extreme weather events. In the upcoming storm, there's an optimistic plan in place, but not everyone agrees, especially in Wagner Park. People there have been against the changes for a long time. Why? Well, the changes will take away 10% of the green space, and green areas are pretty rare in New York City. Those who support the park have been saying no to these changes for years. The authorities did make some adjustments to the plans, but a lot of folks still aren't happy. They're suggesting other ideas, like building a bigger wall to stop floods or making the current buildings flood-resistant. However, the officials insist that raising the elevation is super important. Why? Because it's the best way to keep the park safe from future storms that could seriously mess it up. In a big city with more than 8 million people, it's not surprising that many folks want to speak up about future changes, especially as the effects of climate change become more noticeable. Saving Battery Park is just one piece of a bigger plan to tackle climate change throughout the city. These efforts will eventually link up with the Lower Manhattan coastal resiliency projects along the East River waterfront, aiming to make the city more resilient to climate-related challenges. This comprehensive initiative involves adding more flood barriers and rebuilding East River Park, among other things. As residents strive to make their voices heard, these projects are crucial steps toward a more sustainable and climate-resilient future for the entire community. By working together on these initiatives, the city can become better equipped to face the impacts of climate change and ensure a safer environment for everyone. As the oceans rise and floods become more severe, it's crucial for city officials to create effective plans from the start. Mistakes could lead to permanent harm to their cities. To find out more about New York's strategies for dealing with floods and other construction-related topics, check out our podcast. It's considered the best in the world, and you can listen to it wherever you usually get your podcasts. If you liked this video and want to stay informed about the future of construction, be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned to our channel for updates on how cities are preparing for rising sea levels and the increasing threat of flooding. Learn from experts in the field and gain insights into the innovative solutions being implemented worldwide.